Hey, it's Casey Orr and Sean Whitfield with iTruckTV.com. It's time for your NASCAR update, and we're going to get you up to speed.
And we're going to keep you up to speed this week by talking about the race at Phoenix International Raceway, the Advocare 500. And before we get into the ramifications of where everybody finished and who's going to win the championship next week, let's just talk about the race. It was a heartbreaker for Carl Edwards. He runs out of gas with 1 lap to go. Kevin Harvick, Sean, who has battled back all race long, who just a few weeks ago was at, well, I guess you could say at odds with his team owner, was able to rally, battle back, and get a victory for the 29 car. Very well could be his final win in a Richard Childress Racing Chevy.
That's right. And, of course, 1 year ago, he made the announcement he would be leaving Richard Childress Racing at the end of this season and moving on to Stewart-Haas Racing. And then, of course, a couple of weeks ago, we recall the run-in between he and Ty Dillon, the grandson of Richard Childress Racing. So this was a win that was very timely because, maybe some hard feelings there. Ending up in victory lane together always makes things better in NASCAR.
Winning solves a lot in sports, and they made some post-race comments that lead you to believe that it sounds like it's going to be a amicable split anyway at the end of this year, and the past is behind them. It was a good win for the 29. And Sean, what was a really, really fun race. There were some cautions that made things interesting. There's always plenty of pit strategy at Phoenix. It seemed like you had one half of the race teams doing one strategy, the other half on the other pit strategy, and we saw a lot of close calls, especially for Jimmie Johnson. 2 different times almost spins out and could have had damage.
Yeah, that's true. And of course, we saw the points lead of Jimmie Johnson get even greater after the race at Phoenix because it was not a good day for Matt Kenseth. It started in practice and did not get any better throughout the weekend. But let's get into the results of the Advocare 500 at Phoenix International Raceway. And, of course, Kevin Harvick got his 23rd victory in his NASCAR Sprint Cup career. This is his 4th victory and 20th top 10 finish in 2013. In second spot, we had Kasey Kahne. He posted his 10th top 10 finish in 19 races at Phoenix. It is also his 14th top 10 finish in 2013. Jimmie Johnson was in third, posted his 17th top 10 finish in 21 races at Phoenix. In fourth was Dale Earnhardt Jr., 5th was Kurt Busch, 6th Juan Pablo Montoya, 7th Kyle Busch, 8th was Martin Truex Jr., 9th Joey Logano, and 10th Ryan Newman.
Other Chase drivers, Greg Biffle finished 13th, Jeff Gordon 14th, followed by Clint Boyer in 20th, Carl Edwards, who ran out of gas, in 21st, and Sean, and this is probably the heartbreaker for a lot of us in NASCAR, the lowest finishing Chase driver, Matt Kenseth, and it wasn't because he got in a wreck, just a very ill-handling race car. He finished in 23rd, 20 points behind Jimmie Johnson.
And the second biggest heartbreaker is the fact that Danica Patrick finished 33rd.
That's a different kind of heartbreak.
Of course, there were 8 caution flags for 49 laps and 23 lead changes among 13 drivers.
So what do those results mean for the points, Sean? Well, coming into the race, we knew we had 2 drivers within striking distance of one another. Jimmie Johnson has a small lead over Matt Kenseth. Well, now Jimmie Johnson finishes 3rd, Matt Kenseth finishes 23rd. Do the math. We no longer have a close points battle.
That's right. Right now we've got 28 points separating Jimmie Johnson and Matt Kenseth as we head into the last race of the NASCAR season coming up this weekend at Homestead. And, of course, in the driver's standings, you've certainly got Jimmie Johnson at the top, 28 points behind Matt Kenseth. 3rd is Kevin Harvick. 4th, Kyle Busch. 5th is Dale Earnhardt Jr. 6th, Jeff Gordon. 7th, Greg Biffle. 8th, Clint Boyer. 9th, Joey Logano. 10th, Kurt Busch. 11th, Ryan Newman. 12th, Kasey Kahne moves up 1. And in the last spot of 13th, we've got Carl Edwards.
Someone will be the only person in history to finish 13th in the chase. But all eyes will be on the top, Sean, as we go to Homestead. Jimmie Johnson can finish 23rd, and he is automatically the champion for this year. 24th and lead a lap, or 25th and lead the most laps. It looks like basically Jimmie gets a top 20 at Homestead, and we're looking at his 6th championship. But as we know, anything can happen.
Of course, Jimmie Johnson is going to be driving on the defense, and it's all his race to lose. And, of course, we've got the Ford EcoBoost 400 to be coming up at Homestead Miami Speedway. Race number 36 of the 2013 season, and this will decide who our NASCAR Sprint Cup champion is for 2013. Of course, you can join us each and every Monday and Thursday on the radio. You can find us on Valvoline Racing Radio on Rock 105 in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and also on iHeartRadio. That does it for this week's Up to Speed on iTruckTV.com.
Right here on the NASCAR update at iTruck TV, where Sean and I keep you up to speed.